Hi writers! Well, today I want to talk to you about the very last step that you need to do when you write a story, and that is to go back and reread your story to make sure that it makes sense. So good writers fix things that don't make sense. So today I want to teach you that writers reread their stories when they finish and they fix mistakes, things that don't make sense. So I've got our ways to spell chart right here, and you can see that there are lots of ways that we can spell words if we don't know how to, besides asking a grown-up. So remember, we can say it, slide it, hear it, write it to sound it out. We can use our snap words either in the writing or to make new words because we can listen for little words inside. And we can also use words that we know to make new words. Finally, we can also write words part by part if they're long so that we can figure out how to spell them using those little parts. Okay, so I have a little short story that I'm going to share with you. It's a small moment story, and I want to see if you can watch me as I go back and reread it to see if it makes sense. Now, if there's anything that doesn't make sense, or if there's anything that looks like it's misspelled, if my words look like they're not spelled quite right, I'm going to fix those. So first of all, I'm also going to make sure that I have my first grade helper chart with me, and I'm going to be checking it and using it if there are some words that look like they might be sight words. Okay, so if you take a look at my story, the first page says, I went, and I'm going to make it big, so maybe we can just focus on this first page. I went to Sprouts to buy some eggs. Okay, so I'm taking a look at that. I started my sentence with a capital letter, I. The next word is went. Now, I'm noticing that I spelled that word with an I. That looks like it says went, but I think it's supposed to be went. Like elephant, short E. And if I look at my mini word wall, I'm noticing, yep, I spelled that wrong. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to see if I can erase it really carefully, okay, and rewrite it. Okay, now sometimes people, students and teachers, might go and just cross out the word and write the new word, and you can do that too. But I know a lot of times there are first grade friends that really just want to erase and write the word correctly. Okay, so I'm going to change the I to an E, so it says I went to, and this is supposed to be Sprouts. So I'm noticing I don't see any vowels in there, but I do hear a word that I know. Out. Sprouts. So I'm going to go ahead, and this time I'm just probably going to cross this out so you can see my new spelling. I hear an R, and I've got the word out inside of it, which I know is spelled O-U-T-S. I went to Sprouts to buy some, oh no, that's another word wall word. So some is actually spelled S-O-M-E, eggs. Uh-oh, I don't have a period at the end of my sentence, so I need to be sure to add that. So now it says, I went to Sprouts to buy some eggs. When I got to my car, I tripped. Okay, so I'm noticing something happened, first of all, to my picture. It looks like some of my drawing actually disappeared. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and, woo, it just came back. There it is. Okay, I was about to go ahead and fix that. So I can see that it says, when I got to my car, I tripped. Well, this should be an uppercase W right at the beginning. Okay, and it needs to look just like this. Okay, so I think maybe I'll just go ahead and erase that and make it look nice and neat. When I got to my car, I tripped. I need some kind of punctuation at the end, and I think I'll add an exclamation point because that shows excitement. The eggs fell and they all broke. I was sad. Well, again, I'm noticing I've got a sight word right here, which is the word they. And that's not how it's spelled. If I use my word wall to check it, I'm noticing, and go ahead and erase it, that that is actually spelled in a different way. T-H-E-Y. They all broke. I was. Uh-oh. We don't spell was like that. That's how it sounds, but that's not how it's spelled. And I know because I can use my word wall. And I've seen that in my reading before. I was sad. I went back into the store and they gave me new eggs for free. I was happy. I could maybe leave that alone or just change that to an exclamation point. Okay, so writers, that's how you would go back and reread your story to make sure it makes sense. So I checked for spelling words, for words that weren't spelled correctly, and I used my sight word list and words that I know to spell the words correctly. I listened for sounds in my words, and I also made sure that I started my sentences with a capital letter and ended them with a period, an exclamation mark, or a question mark. Now, I didn't have any question marks in my story, but if I had asked a question, I could have used a question mark too. Okay, so I'm challenging you right now to go back, reread your story very, very carefully, and look for mistakes. Correct those mistakes, and then your story is ready to publish. You can staple your pages together and you can share it with your family, or you can bring it to school if you're coming to school next week, and you can share it with your class or even with Miss Hunt in the library. Okay, writers, off you go.